gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. Mayor Bob Grassilli was first elected to the San Carlos City Council on November 8th of 2005, and again on November 3rd of 2009, and again on November 4th of 2013. This is his third time serving as mayor, first in 2009 and again in 2013. Previously, he served on the San Carlos Planning Commission from 1994 to 2000, and on the Railroad Land Use Commission. Mayor Grassilli earned his Master's of Business Administration in Finance from the University of California and a bachelor's degree in business from the University of San Francisco. He's a graduate of Serra High School. Mr. Grassilli's priorities for San Carlos include adopting a fiscally responsible municipal budget and ensuring that citizens receive the best city services available. Mr. Grassilli started his professional career in 1970 with Arthur Anderson, a large certified public accountant firm, and in 1977 began work at Sunstream Homes, where he spent 27 years, the last 18 as chief financial officer. Mr. Grassilli was born in San Francisco and moved to the peninsula at age 4. He's lived in San Carlos since 1983. He enjoys golf and travel, as well as volunteering for various charities on the peninsula. And it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Mayor Bob Grassilli.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you very much. Can everybody hear me? Especially in the back, and please don't stop talking or eating or drinking back there, because that's what I did last year. So, thank you all for coming out tonight. I know it was for me, not for the beer. Honest, I do. But I want to recognize my colleagues. Cameron Johnson, one of my colleagues, works for Netflix. And one of the great shows that's on Netflix is House of Cards. And now I know how and why he gets all the information that he works on from Kevin Spacey. And Mark Olbert is here. Where's Mark? I can't see, of course. Thank you. And you have a little dog, right? What's the dog's name? Diego. I think Diego should come to council meetings, and if we say something sort of stupid, which could happen, Diego should bark. He does it anyway? Okay. And Ron Collins is here, our other colleague. And Ron's in insurance, and after I speak, he's going to give like a 2-hour presentation on the new Affordable Care Act. Matt Grocott, our other council member, isn't here tonight. I understand he's at a showing of Hamilton in San Francisco, where he's teaching the cast about the Constitution. So without further ado, it's important to acknowledge San Carlos is a city of good living. I want to address the challenges of keeping it that way, and our promise that we'll continue to make every effort to ensure that San Carlos remains that way, the city of good living. We're going to start with some of the city's accomplishments in 2016. The city of San Carlos is a quality city. It's due to a number of factors: location, climate, economy, community, history, character, and how the city departments operate. And that's really what I'm going to focus on tonight, is how they operate and what they've done. So for each department, I have a hat. And some of them are appropriate, and some of them I just had to wear a hat. So bear with me on this one. This is the city manager's hat. Now, I'm not saying he takes a lot of vacations or plays a lot of golf, but I'm just going to wear this. So I'm not even looking at what's down there. I assume Tara has it all worked out. So we'll just go from there. This year, manage the development, oversight, and implementation of the council's strategic plan. The strategic plan is created each year by council and staff, and it provides the mission, vision, core values to set the direction for the organization, and provides objectives for staff to achieve. The objectives are goals to be achieved that are above and beyond what are required of basic city services. The staff did a tremendous amount of work delivering on those objectives this year. To ensure the safety of the public, the city manager worked with PG&E to demand that they operate natural gas line 147 in a safe and secure manner. City manager's office, along with city attorney Greg Rubens and our public works director Jay Walter, monitored the PG&E line 147 throughout its inspection and repair. Now, Jeff, I think where's Jeff? He just left. Good. Is it all coming back? Good. That's good. I just want to make sure, are we done now with 147? Is it all good? 147? Almost. Okay, thank you. Also, to achieve the greenhouse gas emissions reductions targets in the city's climate action plan, staff undertook many initiatives, including the installation of electric vehicle charging stations in the Civic Center garage and the switch to Peninsula Clean Energy as our community's electricity provider, with the city's municipal accounts using 100% renewable energy. That's a good deal. We also reduced congestion on our local streets, or tried to, and provide alternative transportation options to meet the council's objectives. Working with Samtrans, we now have Bus Route 61, which goes up into the hills on Crestview and comes around and delivers a number of students to schools, and also helps some of the older folks get down from the hills down to Laurel Street, so it's great. And also we have a commuter shuttle that also is free that we started this year around the train station to get folks to their businesses. In an effort to expand our community outreach to ensure a transparent government, we've also undertaken a number of initiatives, including more newsletters, launching the City Hall in Focus video series, issuing multiple postcards, holding the first Citizens Academy. Last night, by the way, started the second Citizens Academy. The first one I had, I think, 35 to 40. Last night we had 37 people. Citizens Academy is something for 8 Wednesdays in a row. They're going to learn about every department that I'm going to speak about today. So it's a great idea to understand how government works. And also hosting various community events and expanded social media postings. So, City Manager's Office, that's what they did this time. And wait, there's more. Okay, now we're going to get to Park and Rec, the fun folks. With Amy Newby, our new Park and Rec director. So they supported council's goal to increase the number of block parties to build community. Along with Public Works, they expanded the city's partnership with the school district on joint field use and scheduling. And we're still working with the school district to hopefully get even a couple of more fields that we can work into for the young people to play on. Along with Public Works, again, renovated the Adult Community Center, which is absolutely beautiful. If you haven't been there, it's much lighter. They've redecorated the entire place. It looks terrific. And that included the relocation of Park and Rec registration services, and as I said, repurposed some underutilized rooms. Launched the new online recreation registration website, ActiveNet. So you don't have to come down and register. You can do it on your computer, and it's a heck of a lot easier to apply to register for classes and things like that. And also completed the utility box mural project. We have 19 utility boxes in town, and they all have, in my opinion, some really nice artwork with them. And last but not least, coordinated community events, including 2 kids sing and swing concerts in the park, 6 music in the park Friday nights during the summer, 2 community movie nights in the park, the Goblin Walk, and the Night of Holiday Lights. So Park and Rec did something this year. Okay, now, wait, there's more. Public Works. All right. We completed a number of projects in the city, including the Industrial Road Parallel Sewer and Micro-Tunneling Project and the Holly East and West Channel Sediment Removal Project. Sediment removal doesn't sound like a whole lot of stuff, but it allows the water to actually come down instead of being on the streets. It goes into the canals and goes out to the bay, as opposed to being stuck with all the sediment. And there was a ton of it this time that Jay and his staff took care of. Completed a 95% design for the Holly Street 101 interchange and pedestrian overcrossing project. Jeff, when do we think that's going to start? Possibly next year. They're going to be redoing the whole interchange, and we are going to have, as I said, a pedestrian overcrossing for people to walk or bike from here over to Redwood Shores. Outreach to the community about infrastructure and maintenance priorities in multiple ways, and search for funding opportunities to cover the high cost of these projects. A lot of people don't know that not all the projects that we do are funded directly by the city. We go to the state for money, we go to the federal government for money, and they help us out in doing some of these projects. So getting grants is quite an art, and our staff does a great job of doing it. And last but not least, reduce sanitary sewer overflows to a historic low level. We achieved significant progress in reaching the objectives of the San Francisco Baykeepers Consent Decree. A few years ago, we were sued because we had too many overflows, and we put a whole bunch of money and time and effort into making sure that didn't happen. And I think this year was the lowest we've ever had, and it was under, Jay, is it under 10 this year? How many did we have? 5. And when we got here a few years ago was, I don't want to tell you how many there were, but only 5 this year, which is spectacular for any city, let alone a city of our size. So anyway, good Public Works did a great job. Okay, the City of Good Living here. Let's see, what do we got? We got a hat for that? We do. City of Good Living, okay. Administrative Services, they don't really have a hat, so I had to put this on for them. The Administrative Services Department presented 2 full-day study sessions on the budget and implemented performance measurement tracking so we can figure out not only how we're spending it, but why we're spending it, and have some goals to do that. Also achieve the goal of fiscal sustainability and balance the budget every year. And we've done that every year since I've been on council. Not easily in the early years, a little easier now. Completed the computer network core refresh project and migrated our main server to a virtual environment to improve functionality. Let me read that again. Completed the computer network core refresh project and migrated our main server to a virtual environment to improve functionality. Does anybody know what that means? But anyway, the Administrative Services did it, so good for them. I just read it, folks. Completed the installation of the IT infrastructure needed at the corporation yard to enable it to serve as a backup emergency operations center. Very important, because you always want to have a backup to everything. Hired 3 new IT and 4 new finance staff replacements in the first 6 months of the year. Now, if my staff where I worked had 7 changes in the first 6 months, we would not have accomplished as much as the city administrative services staff did. I don't know how Rebecca did it with her staff, but we didn't miss a beat. And so obviously great training by them and great hard work by everybody in the department. And last but not least, achieved one of the top 3 highest risk management best practice scores among the ABAG plan members. We belong to ABAG. It's a consortium where we get our insurance through there, and it's great to be in the top 3 of doing good risk management. Okay, what do I got this time? Oh, fire department. We'll get that. Let me get one of those. All right. Excuse me here. I should have had an assistant. All right, fire department. We expanded public outreach, including 70 public education events that resulted in contact with 3,578 residents. Processed a total of 434 fire and life safety inspections of apartment buildings, which is extremely important, as we know from the news. Maintained best practices concerning the cost of fire services. Redwood City's been a terrific partner with us and done a great job, and of course, Chief's done a great job of keeping the costs down, and so it's good stuff. We also relocated cost sharing between Redwood City and San Carlos to allow the addition of a half-time fire prevention officer without an increase in the overall cost of fire services. So again, thanks and kudos to Redwood City and San Carlos. And last but not least, we have recruited and appointed a new fire chief and deputy fire chief. Our new fire chief is here today. And we appreciate working with Redwood City. You guys have been great. Oh, now we go to the sheriff's office. Okay. I got a hat for that. Sure I do. I'm sure I do. Here it is. So I didn't have a sheriff's hat, but this has an S. So this stands for the, sorry, Greg, but hey, it's an S, Sheriff's Department. You gotta work with what you got, so. The Sheriff's Office reported that major crimes were reduced by 10% overall, which is spectacular, and burglaries down 24%. We have a very, very, very safe city. That's because of Chief Rothfuss and all the folks that work Sheriff's Department work really hard to make it happen, along with the community. And this, I'll get into that here. We've conducted extensive community outreach, including town hall meetings, home protection fairs, videos, marketing campaigns on burglary prevention, and various community events, all to, again, make sure that we're all paying attention. Completed the installation of fixed automatic license plate readers at 4 locations in the city. Installed cameras in all patrol vehicles to help build public trust and confidence. And expanded our emergency preparedness activities, including city hall or city staff training. So thank you very much, Chief, for all that. And wait, there's more. Okay. We have our city clerk. Again, I had a hat, so whatever. City clerk coordinated 7 commission recruitments and orientated 9 new commissioners, and that's a lot for 1 year. Along with the city attorney, revised the conflict of interest code and reassigned disclosure categories. As part of the council's community outreach and engagement initiatives, coordinated the expanded farmers market booth schedules with staff and council, where there's not every Sunday, but at least 1 or 2 Sundays a month, somebody, myself or my colleagues, are down at City Hall, at the farmers market with a department, as Public Works or the fire department or police department or whatever, to answer questions for people. Ensured city officials' compliance with AB 1234, which is an ethics requirement, and Fair Political Practice Commission conflict of interest statements, which we have to file every single year. And supported 41 city council meetings, including producing agenda packets, recording meetings, and preparing legislative histories. We don't just necessarily meet twice a month. We have closed sessions, we have subcommittee meetings, lots of things that have to be recorded and made sure that they're on the record. And that's what the city clerk did. Okay, we have a couple more. I'm almost done. Maybe a couple more hours. Anyway, Community Development Department. I didn't have one of those either, Al, but I got a Giants cap, so. Prepared the commercial linkage fee ordinance adopted by the City Council to provide much-needed affordable housing funds. What that is if you want to build a commercial building in town, you have to pay a fee because we want to try to match up housing with work. Now, that's an extremely difficult hill to climb, but we're doing our darndest to try to climb it. And that's what this commercial linkage fee is going to give us some funds. We can hopefully build some affordable housing, more affordable housing in San Carlos. And in support of the council's affordable housing goals, the Community Development Department issued permits for 1501 Cherry Street, 34 units, 777 Walnut, 20 units, and 2811 San Carlos Avenue, 11 single-family units. They also prepared a mandatory balcony inspection ordinance for all apartment buildings, which is now part of the city's apartment inspection programs. And we all know how important that is for the decks and so on after that terrible tragedy in Berkeley. Also prepared the ordinance for the formula businesses in downtown, which was adopted by the council, so that they have a separate review for any large formula business that would want to come into downtown. And in support of the council's economic development goals, completed entitlements for the Meridian 25 office development, permits for the Landmark Hotel, which is, everyone sees is going up quickly, San Carlos Transit Village, which is also going up fairly quickly, and the Primo Honda building, which is also going up, and oversaw the Wheeler Plaza project, which hasn't broken ground yet, but will probably in the next 30 days. In addition, welcome a number of new businesses to San Carlos, including Bistro Burger, Asia, and Orchard Supply Hardware. But along with all these accomplishments, we have a number of challenges. So, put this hat on. This is one of those hats. Traffic and parking. Okay, we'll just skip that one. Our good economy has resulted in rapid development. Like, I'm telling you something you don't know. Putting more demands on our streets and parking areas. This has been an issue in our community for years, and it's driven in large part by a strong regional economy. Some of the solutions we're trying to work on. We continue to address this issue in a number of ways. For parking, we'll be providing more options, such as the Wheeler Plaza parking structure when it is done, which is going to give us, like, I think 237 or 247 spots, which is 50 or 60 more than we have now in Wheeler Plaza. And also new leases with Samtrans to provide parking in its downtown structure and along El Camino in the southern portion of the city. For traffic, we've added more transit options and are working with partners to fund the Four Corners Traffic Improvement Project to reduce traffic near Carmont and Tierra Linda. That is a joint venture with Belmont, San Carlos, Sequoia High School District, and the San Carlos Elementary School District. And it's been a marvelous partnership. The trick now is to find some grant money to initiate it. But all four of us have been working together for the last two and a half years, and it's been a great committee. Ron's the chair of that, and he's done a great job with it. None of these solutions are quick or easy, but we're trying to move in the right direction. Construction impacts, something else that doesn't happen here. Construction is happening everywhere you look. While it is a positive sign of a strong economy, it also creates, obviously, dust, noise, and inconvenience. But lots of new families are moving to town with a desire for larger homes and more services, and private property owners have the right to develop and improve their property. And we just may have to make sure we manage it properly. The city has changed regulations concerning lot splits, which are going to be extremely difficult to do now, if at all, and we'll be addressing housing size probably in the next few months in an effort to ensure that the future development is on a scale consistent with the character and values of San Carlos. Demands on the city's limited resources. It wasn't that long ago that the city was forced to downsize due to a struggling economy, certainly early in the century. Demands on our financial resources and staff are significant, and they're growing. Well, some of the solutions we're working on, we need to continue to balance the budget, which we've done. We add staff only where needed in a thoughtful and sustainable manner. As mentioned before, we have a good balance of revenues and expenses. We keep our resources in mind when we make demands of city and staff. We don't want to overtax our staff, because then they'll get too overworked, and then they'll leave, and then what are we going to do? Start over again. And demand on the city's limited resources. It wasn't long ago the city, oh, I just read that one. Okay, good. See it? I'm paying right attention on this. Change. We're right near the end. Along with the good economy and changing times, our community itself is changing. This can be a tremendous challenge to a community who recalls with fondness old times and old ways. The city continues to adapt and change, consistent with legal requirements, community input, and fiscal limitations. So we have all these challenges, and what are we going to do about them? Well, my plan for 2017 is summed up in one word: identification. This means that before the city embarks on new ventures, we take a moment to identify how they will impact the community and how they will ensure that we're continuing to deliver on our promise to maintain the standard that San Carlos is the city of good living. Throughout 2017, I'm asking that the City Council and staff take these steps. Legal, to ensure what we are doing meets all legal requirements. Introspection. Let's look at what makes San Carlos the quality city it is and how our actions impact it. Prioritize. Let us thoughtfully consider the things that must be done now, what can wait, what should be done, postponed indefinitely, or maybe not done at all. Service delivery, very important. Evaluate the city's organization to ensure that it is delivering its services in a manner that best meets the needs of our community. Ensure that we're considering this ability when placing more demands on the staff and resources, as I said before. Fiscally responsible, the city needs to balance our revenues with our expenses. Sales and property taxes are insufficient to cover our expenses, so the city must look to other ways to generate revenue. And one of these is new development. But not only can new development generate sales, property, and business taxes, it can also bring in community benefits that we sort of advise, well, we can't say that. We sort of put them in and say, folks, if you want to build this or do that, you have to give us some community benefits. We need to ensure development is managed and done properly. Another aspect is how the city is run. The city organization must perform its services in the most financially stable way, keeping our costs reasonable and sustainable. And change, the last one. Managing change is never easy. It's messy, it's noisy, and it's uncomfortable. We all know that in our daily lives, let alone in government. Sometimes it comes without warning or very quickly, but change is a part of life. As the city of good living, this is an important component of who we are and a key to our success. It is important we manage it to the best we can. Working together as a community, as long as residents, businesses, developers, nonprofit organizations, and agencies that serve us, including the City Council and the city staff, all work together as stewards of the city of San Carlos, we cannot go wrong. We can keep the promise of ensuring the city of San Carlos remains the city of good living for generations to come. Closing, this is the end now. Thanks to David Bouchard and the Chamber of Commerce and the staff, generous donations from the sponsors who made tonight possible. Thanks to Devil's Canyon Brewery for hosting us this evening. Thanks to Creola for the wonderful food. Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks to Millbrae TV for the audio and visual. Thanks to the staff from the city manager's office who wrote this, and IT. And thanks to the city staff and my colleagues on the council for all they've done, all the hard work that my colleagues have done over the years, and certainly for this year. And last but not least, thank you all for coming tonight, and hopefully you've learned things, and if you haven't, I'll be happy to take any questions if you want me to answer any, either publicly or privately.
I have a microphone. Ooh. If anybody would like to ask Bob a question. And first, applaud. Thank you, Bob. Anyone would like to ask Bob a question?
If not, I'll be happy to answer any in private. I'll be here, so if you want to ask me anything. Okay?
No questions. Okay, great, Bob. Thank you very much.
Thank you, folks,
Excellent
very much.
job.
Thank you.